Greetings all. It's Wisdom Wednesday. Welcome to episode 23 of Journeying Within, where we explore nourishment for mind, body, and spirit. In this episode, I am in Thailand, a place known for its rich culture and vibrant energy, where food not only feeds the body, but can also heal the soul. We will explore not just the fruits and exotic foods of this land, but also the deeper truths about how we nourish our minds and spirits. What we consume, both physically and mentally, shapes our lives and our world. Join me as we delve into the universal act of nourishment and the power we hold to build or destroy through our everyday choices. Let us explore how we can be more mindful in what we choose to feed ourselves in all aspects of life. I have often raved about Thailand's immense beauty, its landscapes, rich culture, and vibrant energy. But what truly captivates me is its healing power through nature's bounty. Thailand has an incredible array of fruits that can rejuvenate the body and the spirit. From mangosteens with their antioxidant power to dragon fruit and the sweet richness of rambutans, this land offers a profusion of nature's gifts to nourish us. But while I am here for these healing fruits, one cannot ignore the vast range of foods Thailand is known for, including some that might shock a first-time visitor: scorpions, frogs, insects of all kinds, delicacies to some, adventurous street food to others. All are available in almost any market worth its salt. You will find exotic choices such as snakes and even crocodile meat on occasion. For those open to trying them, they are part of the culinary tapestry that makes this place unique. However, not everything is for the adventurous palate. There are also foods we are cautioned to avoid, whether for our own health or to protect endangered species. Some dishes, unfortunately, may include wildlife that is facing extinction, a stark reminder of the impact our choices have, not just on our bodies, but on the planet. Yet, despite the wide variety of foods, there is a sameness in the act of eating. Whether we are snacking on fruits, insects, or more traditional dishes, the act of nourishment remains universal. What we put into our bodies, and beyond that into our minds and souls, profoundly shapes who we are. A healthy body and mind rely on more than just conscious choice. They are shaped by what we are surrounded by, what we believe, and what we allow into our lives. Each aspect of our being, physical, mental, and spiritual, requires its own form of nourishment. Just as the body needs food, the mind feeds on information, and the spirit seeks meaning. But it is crucial to recognize that we are not just passive consumers. We are also creators. With every thought, word, and deed, we create powerful, energetic forces that shape both our internal world and the world around us. These forces, whether born from love, fear, creativity, or anger, take on a life of their own with the exact strength we give them. The energy we put into the world always comes back to us in some form, influencing what we experience and who we become. This is why it is so important to be mindful of what we feed our body, mind, and spirit. Because these choices have far-reaching effects, rippling out into our lives and the lives of others. It is easy to overlook how much we consume on a daily basis, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually. What we feed our minds and spirits is just as important as what we put into our bodies. And yet, how often do we stop and ask ourselves, what are we really taking in? What are we feeding ourselves on a daily basis? Are we aware of how the information we ingest shapes our thoughts, words, and deeds? Just as unhealthy food can affect our bodies, could it be that negative or destructive content weighs down our minds and spirits too? And something else worth considering is this. We often tend to excuse habits that feel normal in our world, but what feels normal to us might be completely different for someone else. It is easy to forget that everyone has their own experiences shaping them just as we do. One thing I've noticed, and maybe you have too, is how quickly we can get caught up in blame, shame, or guilt over past experiences, whether our own or someone else's. It is almost like we let these moments define us, even though they were just part of our journey, helping us learn. But maybe it doesn't have to be that way. What if, instead of seeing those experiences as permanent marks, we viewed them as chances for growth? They do not have to brand us for life or hold us back. And wouldn't it be freeing if we stopped letting our past or anyone else's weigh us down? If we could change this mindset, it might open up a whole new way of seeing ourselves and others. We can be kinder both to ourselves and those around us, understanding that everyone is just working with the experiences and information they have had so far. In that way, reflection becomes less about judgment and more about learning and making new informed choices moving forward. When it comes to our choices, it is easy to focus on what's on our plate. Whether we are indulging in something as common as a salad or, as unusual to some, as scorpions or cats and dogs. These food choices can spark intense reactions, but they are also a reminder of a deeper truth. What truly defines us isn't what we consume, but what we create through our words, thoughts, and actions. The Bible reminds us it is not what goes into a man that defiles him, but what comes out. This isn't just about food. It is about the energy we bring into the world. Are we nurturing growth or are we contributing to destruction? What truly matters is the mindset and heart behind our choices. The person who eats a dish foreign to our palate is no less part of this shared world than the one who sticks to what's familiar. At the end of the day, we are all part of a larger team, Team Earth, and our individual actions have collective consequences. It is not about what's on our plate, but what we are feeding into the world with every decision we make. The real question isn't whether eating a particular food is right or wrong. It is whether our mindset is one of building or destroying. Every thought we entertain, every word we speak, every action we take ripples out and affects not only our immediate surroundings, but the world as a whole. Are we, in our everyday choices, contributing to the healing of this planet, the upliftment of our fellow beings, and the betterment of future generations? Or are we unwittingly tearing down the very structures that sustain us? It is easy to vilify others for their differences, what they eat, how they live. But true wisdom lies in realizing that these are just surface level distinctions. The real work is within. We must stop obsessing over the externals and instead focus on our collective responsibility to build, nurture, and protect. Whether through our eating habits, our conversations, or the way we treat others, we are creating the world we inhabit, brick by brick, thought by thought. But let us remember that nourishment comes in many forms, not just physical food, but also the mental, emotional, and spiritual cuisines we consume daily. For many, what they eat, believe, or practice is shaped by their environment, upbringing, or what's available to them. What's a meal to one may be unimaginable to another. Yet, the deeper question is not merely what we consume, but how it affects us and the world around us. When we digest these forms of nourishment, whether it's physical food, ideas, emotions, or beliefs, are they building us up? Are they promoting growth, compassion, and understanding, both within ourselves and in our interactions with others? Or are we allowing ourselves to be poisoned by judgments, divisiveness, and superficial attitudes that miss the bigger picture? In the end, it is not what goes into our bodies or minds that defiles us, but what we create and project outward. We destroy more than we build when we let ourselves be guided by narrow, reactive judgments instead of mindful, informed choices. So, the question remains: are we choosing nourishment that builds ourselves, our communities, and our planet? Or are we, by our thoughts, words, and deeds, perpetuating a cycle of destruction? Let us then ask ourselves, are we building or destroying? This question extends far beyond the food on our plates. It touches every aspect of our existence. The choices we make daily, what we consume, what we speak, and how we live are the blueprints for the world we are creating. Each of us is a vital member of Team Earth, and we hold the responsibility for the energy we contribute. It is up to us to be creators, protectors, and nurturers, not just for ourselves, but for each other and the generations that will follow. As we move forward, let us not underestimate the power of what we choose to imbibe, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Every moment, we have a choice to consume what nurtures us or what depletes us. So let us be mindful, intentional, and purposeful in our decisions. By consciously choosing the foods we consume in all areas of life, we set the foundation for growth, connection, and harmony. In this fast-paced world, we may not always realize the full impact of what we imbibe, whether in our diets or in our minds. But we have the power to choose, and by choosing what we consume wisely, we shape the future. The future is in our hands, and the choices we make today are building the world of tomorrow. Let us choose to build a world rooted in compassion, wisdom, and balance for ourselves, for others, and for our planet. So as you move through this week, I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on the choices you are making. What are you feeding your body, mind, and spirit? Are those choices building the life and world you want to see? Let us choose nourishment that uplifts and empowers us, because every small decision we make is shaping the future. Together, we have the power to create lasting change, starting from within.